My name is Husain Al-Badry. I was born in Iraq. I do live in New Zealand, in Auckland, Tamaki Makaurau. And I live here with my wife, who's Palestinian, Kiwi, and my three children, who are half Iraqi, half Palestinian, and they're all Kiwis. I was born in Iraq in the 80s, so I lived through two wars as I was growing up in there. One was the Iran-Iraq War, and then the Gulf War. And then we left Iraq after the Gulf War, and we went to Jordan. We restarted our life completely. My parents were academics, and so we restarted our lives in Jordan, stayed there for 4 years, and then we packed up our bags and came to New Zealand, and we restarted our lives again. So my life is full of constant restarts, and I guess that taught me a lot about being resilient and being able to adapt to new environments and change as well. My career journey was that I studied software engineering when I was at university, which is a slightly glorified version of the computer science program. But coming out of university, I joined a big company in New Zealand called Datacom, and I worked as a programmer, as a technical lead, and I did that for a few years, and then I got the opportunity to start their mobile apps business, and that's actually when I first got to know Tony as well. And then after that, I started a part of the business called the Foundry for them, which was actually when we started moving, my journey started moving really away from just technology and focusing on how do you use technology, how do you apply technology, what's the purpose behind the technology and what's the problem that you're trying to solve, and how do you create things that are both useful but also beautiful. So I learned a lot from that journey. I learned a lot from people like Tony and others in the team. And I guess, my biggest insight out of my career so far and all the different things that I got to do is a lot of the opportunities that I got, they just sort of came up, and I felt like they would be interesting to do, and I didn't try to overthink them and try to think about, should I do this or should I do that? And I think a lot of people get into that sort of trap of thinking and overthinking about their career and, what it is that they should do, rather than just embracing the change as it comes towards them. And so some of those have been good experiences and they've helped me grow, and some of them have been not so good experiences, but guess what? Even those help you grow. So I think that's been really helpful for me during my career. I've started doing a lot more work in the leadership space. I did sort of an executive MBA at Harvard Business School, and I've started doing more leadership coaching, and I've joined some nonprofit boards. But one of the big stories that happened to me in the last sort of 5 years was, and really one of the things that connected me back to my purpose and who I am, is the March 15 attacks that happened here in New Zealand. So me and Tony were talking about how we still remember that day when I got the news that something has happened in Christchurch. I immediately called my friend who lives there, who used to go to that mosque, and who was unfortunately killed in those attacks, martyred in those attacks. And that experience of loss, I immediately went, we packed our bag, we went to Christchurch, spent the week there until we buried everybody, all the 50 people that died at the time, and then one person died later on. And I guess that experience was extremely close because it was something that happened to people that I know, but also something that happened against my identity and against people from my community. And I could have been that person as well. I go to the mosque every Friday, and that could have been me just as much as anybody else. It could have been anybody from my family as well. So that attack on my personality was really something that was very close and impacted me a lot. And so I was in a really privileged position, which I'm really grateful for, of being able to bring my identity to work, and being somebody who's sort of senior at Datacom. The senior leadership team and the board looked at what they can do to help. And so from all those conversations, we started a foundation. So Datacom started a foundation, and that foundation funds the education of the children that have been impacted by March 15. So my friend's daughter, who was 3, I think, at the time when she lost her father, or 2, she'll hopefully benefit from those education grants that the Datacom Foundation is going to be creating. So to me, being able to bring yourself to your work and being able to cross over, the things that you care about and your purpose and your identity with the work that you do is really important. And I think if we look around the world and all the failures that are happening around us, really that's a failing of leadership. And the reason why is because people historically haven't been bringing their selves to work. They haven't been bringing a values and purpose-oriented frame into the work that they do. Everybody talks about purpose, but it's almost become like an artificial thing versus each individual digging deep into who they are and what they care about and what's their identity and what communities do they belong to, and then being able to, bring that into their work life and work out how do they generate a greater impact for those causes that they care about. So, that's another message from me, which is, bring yourself to work, bring your identity to work, and be proud of who you are, and allow that to guide your journey as well.